So our topic for today is about wave parameters, the frequency, amplitude, wavelength, period, and wave speed. So waves are existent in our surroundings. It could be in different forms and mediums. So ang waves talaga guys ay nandito na yan sa surroundings natin. Hindi na yan mawawala at hindi yan nadideform at hindi yan nadi-destroy because it is not a matter. It is not created but can be produced or can be transformed. So we have different types of waves. First, we have the electromagnetic wave, and part of the electromagnetic wave is the light waves. So, ayan, makikita natin yung visible spectrum. Next, we have the tidal waves, the seismic waves, heat waves, sound waves, and the other types of waves. So, importanteng malaman natin kung ano ba yung frequency, yung amplitude at wavelength para ma-identify natin kung anong klase ng wave ba yung na-produce or yung nag-occur and ano ba yung purpose ng wave. Kasi ang bawat wave, though they have almost the same concepts, yet they have different functions because of three parameters. So as you could see from the illustration, it presents a wave with its parameters. So before tayo mag-start with the parameters, pansinin nyo muna yung figure dun sa baba. So the vertical dimension lies in the y-axis or the y-coordinate. So, y-coordinate pataas yun and pababa. And the x-axis and the length or the horizontal dimension lies on the x-axis. So, yan. Now, yung wavelength, this is the distance between the two crests or two throws. Meanwhile, the amplitude is the distance between the crest and the equilibrium. Yung equilibrium, yun yung gitnang line. Yung kung mapapansin natin yung jagged line. Yan. So, amplitude is the distance between the crest and the equilibrium line or the through and the equilibrium line. The string vibrates in a simple harmonic motion. So, yung nasa video, that is a simple harmonic motion. It is a repetitive wave motion na nakikita nyo. So, each segment, like the S, oscillates up and down in the y-axis and traveling from left to right along with the x-axis. So, pag sinabi natin oscillates, repetitive motion. So, in this, nagkakaroon ng repetitive motion from up to down and vice versa. Kaya yung wave na nakakreate ay repetitive din. And the same with all the parameters. So it can be concluded that each segment is a simple harmonic oscillator vibrating. So as you can see from the figure, this is a sample of, or these are samples of simple harmonic oscillation. Mapapansin nyo, the same yung parameters, especially with the period and the frequency. Yeah. So it can be concluded that each segment is a simple harmonic oscillator vibrating. So as you can see from the figure, this is a sample of, or these are samples of simple harmonic oscillation. Mapapansin nyo, the same yung parameters, especially with the period and the frequency. Yeah. The frequencies of the waves studied of the course will range from rather low values for waves on strings and waves on water to values for sound waves between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So yung 20 Hz, ito yung pinakamababang frequency na pwede nating marinig. Kasi frequency is pertaining to pitch. So, ang katunog dyan ay yung pinakamababang pedal sa organ, yung 20 Hz. Meanwhile, the 20,000 Hz is the most highest pitch or frequency that humans could hear. Pero actually, halos hindi mo na marinig yun. And pag narinig mo yun, parang nakakahilo. Yan, sobrang taas. So, yun. So, as you could see from the samples, these are the types of waves having different frequencies. But then, some of it were complex waves. Hindi na sila ordinary, simple harmonic. Yan. The frequencies of the waves studied of the course will range from rather low values for waves on strings and waves on water to values for sound waves between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So, yung 20 Hz, ito yung pinakamababang frequency na pwede nating marinig. Kasi frequency is pertaining to pitch. So, ang katunog dyan ay yung pinakamababang pedal sa organ, yung 20 Hz. Meanwhile, the 20,000 Hz is the most highest pitch or frequency that humans could hear. Pero actually, halos hindi mo na marinig yun. And pag narinig mo yun, parang nakakahilo. Yan, sobrang taas. So, yun. So, as you could see from the samples, these are the types of waves having different frequencies. But then, some of it were complex waves. Hindi na sila ordinary, simple harmonic. Yan. So, these waves have different physical sources but can be described with same concepts. So, ano bang nagiging similarity ng mga waves na to? These are what we call the parameters. The frequency, the equilibrium line. This equilibrium line is just imaginative line. But then it has a significant aspect in terms of waves. The amplitude, wavelength, period, and wave speed. So these concepts are similar to all types of waves no matter what resources they came from. So first is the equilibrium line. So the equilibrium line is the dashed line along the x-axis that represents the equilibrium position, meaning that this line is the no wave position. So itong equilibrium line, ano yan? Parang neutral position in between sa crest at throw. Ayan talaga ang purpose ng equilibrium line, to determine the crest and trough. So the second parameter is the frequency. So it is the quantity of vibration being produced, or gaano karami yung napoproduce na waves in a certain period. So as you can see here from the video, as I am increasing the frequency, the number of vibrations are also increasing. And dito rin sa figure, yung 3 Hz, for example, meron lang na-produce na 3 crests. Yung 6 Hz, merong 6 crests. And yung 12 Hz, merong 12 crests within a certain period of time. So, mapapansin nyo yung difference sa dami ng hertz, dami ng crests in the same period. Next is the wavelength. So, the horizontal arrows show the distance between two successive points that behave identically. It is represented with the symbol lambda. Okay. So, as you can see, the similar axis or the similar identity in these waves are the throw. Ayan, yung nasa positive y intercept. Next is yung axis or yung points sa negative y intercept. And the similar points that lies in the neutral x intercept. So, yan. So, wavelength is the distance between similar points. The crow, the crest, and the other points in the wave. So, as you could see from the video, yan, the wave has 51 Hz, started from 51 Hz, and slowly increasing. Now, when it reaches 90 Hz, the wave been doubled. Yan. So, habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami din yung waves na napoproduce, and lumiliit yung or umiiksi yung wavelength between the vibration or the waves. Yan. So, as you could see from the video, yan, the wave has 51 Hz, started from 51 Hz, and slowly increasing. Now, when it reaches 90 Hz, the wave been doubled. Yan. So, habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami din yung waves na napoproduce, and lumiliit yung or umiiksi yung wavelength between the vibration or the waves. Yan. Next parameter is the amplitude. So as you could see, the amplitude is the maximum distance the wave has 51 hertz or below started from the equilibrium value, and slowly increasing. We work with the amplitude at the crest and the throw will be identical. When it reaches so amplitude, this is the distance between the wave being doubled, maximum point. So habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami the equilibrium line yung waves na napoproduce the equilibrium line, and lumiliit so that yung is the or umiiksi yung wavelength between the vibration or the waves. So as you can see from the video, as I'm increasing the amplitude, tumataas din yung height difference the between the vibrations. The wave has 51 hertz started from 51 hertz yung and distance slowly increasing ng peak and the equilibrium line. Now, next when it reaches the period 90 hertz, so it is the number of seconds per wave. So habang tumataas yung frequency, the relationship of period and frequency is expressed waves from produced by the following, and lumiliit frequency yung is equal to 1 over or umiiksi yung period or period is equal to 1 or the over frequency. Yan. So this period, guys, ito yung time. So as you could see wave from for example the video, we have 1 the second. The wave has 51 depending kung merong 4 waves within 1 second or merong 5 waves or 6 waves. Yun. Or minsan naman, kapag merong now 1 wave, when it reaches makukuha yun ng 3 seconds or 5 the wave seconds been doubled or only 1 second. Yan. So yun so habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami yung time din yung ayun yung tinatawag nating period na napoproduce. So last parameter is the wave yung speed. Now the wave speed, yung the speed of a segment between or part the vibration or the example waves. Crest moves through the medium. So a wave moves a distance of 1 wavelength so as you in a time interval equal to 1 the video period of the vibration. The wave has so this 51 speed guys started is from just talking hertz about speed and the wave literally slowly increasing as you could see. Now sa isang when it reaches 90 hertz the wave been doubled. Yan. So habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami merong tatlong aircraft na napoproduce and so lumiliit yung as you could observe yung umiiksi yung wavelength first between aircraft the vibration or the waves. Nalalampasan niya yung speed. Yan. Ibig sabihin that aircraft is faster than the speed of so as you sound. Could see from next is the video yung yan. Second aircraft the wave has 51 the same hertz started from 51 hertz with and the speed of slowly increasing magkasing bilis sila. And lastly yung third aircraft is now mas mabilis when na it reaches yung sound kesa dun sa aircraft. Ibig sabihin the wave speed of sound is faster to travel than so habang tumataas yung frequency, dumadami so wave speed din yung be expressed by the following equations. And so lumiliit velocity is equal to or umiiksi yung wavelength or between the vibration or the waves. Distance over theta time or change in time. So velocity equals to change in distance so, as you can divided by from change over time. The video or the wave has 51 velocity hertz is equal to 51 hertz frequency divided by slowly increasing period. Yan. Or V is equal to lambda over now, T. When it reaches because the frequency is the reciprocal of the period, the wave it could also be expressed
Yan.
like this.
So habang tumataas yung
V
frequency,
is equal
dumadami
to
din yung
F
waves na napoproduce.
multiply to
And
lambda, or
lumiliit
velocity
yung
is equal to frequency
or
multiplied to
umiiksi yung wavelength between
wavelength.
the vibration or the waves.
So using these three
Yan.
computations or equations, we could compute for the wave
So as
speed.
you could see from
Depende sa hinahanap
the
na
video,
variable.
yan, the wave
So the
has
waves have
51
different
hertz.
sources. Started from 51 hertz.
It could be
And
the Earth slowly
the
increasing.
tidal, the sun, or your
Now,
cell phones, or your radios,
when it reaches 90
or the
hertz,
speakers. So it has
the
many
wave
sources,
been doubled.
but they have
Yan. So
the same
habang tumataas
concepts,
yung
or what we
frequency,
call the
dumadami
parameters.
din yung
Next
waves
is
na
exercises.
napoproduce. And lumiliit yung
So this is the
or
problem.
umiiksi yung
The
wavelength
segments
between
A
the
and
vibration
B
or the waves.
are apart from a crest and
Yan.
throw, respectively. It oscillates up and down
So as you
with a
could see
period of
from
3 seconds.
the video,
Yan.
the wavelength
The wave
is
has
8 seconds
51 hertz
and
started
is
from
8
51
meters.
hertz.
And
First,
slowly
calculate
increasing
the wave speed. Next, illustrate the diagram.
Now,
So as
when
for
it
the
reaches
calculation,
90 hertz,
so ito siya.
the
Note,
wave been doubled.
First, ang una natin gagawin, calculate the frequency.
So habang
and what
tumataas
are
yung
the formula,
frequency,
or what is the
dumadami
formula for frequency?
din yung
So we
waves
have
na
frequency is equal
and
to 1
lumiliit
over
yung
period.
so or umiiksi yung
Ano nga ba
wavelength
yung period
between
natin?
the vibration or
Okay.
the waves.
We have 3 seconds. So for frequency, 1 over
So as you could
3
see
or
from
1 divided by 3.
the video,
So is
yan,
equal to
the wave has
0.33
hertz.
Started
So
from
ayun na
51
yung
hertz.
frequency natin.
And
next
is
slowly
to calculate
increasing
the wave speed. Now, to get the
Now,
wave speed, dahil nakuha na
when
natin
it
yung frequency,
reaches
gagamitin
90
na natin
hertz,
yon. So, wave speed
the
is equal
wave
to
been doubled.
frequency over,
Yan.
frequency
So habang
multiply
tumataas
to
yung
wavelength.
frequency, dumadami
So,
din
what
yung
is our length?
waves na napoproduce.
Ayun, 8 meters.
And lumiliit
So,
yung
0.33
or umiiksi yung
multiplied to
wavelength
8 meters.
between the vibration
That
or
is
the waves.
2.64 meters
Yan.
per seconds. Ayun na yung wave speed natin. So, madali lang naman,
So
di ba?
as you could see